One thing I instantly noticed about this video, how hackers are destroying Fortnite. Then, now. It's just Cooper, bro. All right, I'm interested to see how Cooper's a hacker.
What?
Bro, poor Dave, bro.
Yeah,
Perhaps the single
Bro,
most
hackers
annoying
were
thing
so
in all
rare in
of
Chapter
gaming.
1. So rare.
Dude, this guy's cheating.
Okay, maybe not. These clips are all
They
from Chapter
always
1.
appear and ruin your day just when you're about to get a victory royale. But these
Not my
annoying
victory
cheaters
royale.
have become more advanced.
What the f?
Dude, like, actually. Oh, how are you not banned, bro? Wow, bro. It's the f***ing cheaters. Oh my god.
Fortnite has given away over $100 million throughout the
That
various
is
tournaments
insane.
in the last 6 years. And with that much money on the line, there's always someone
Exploiter.
behind the screen
Who's
ready
the
to break a
exploiter?
rule and steal a piece of it that they don't deserve.
Does Epic Games realize what's happening?
Today, with the help
I
of
miss Moda,
this
bro.
anonymous member of the
Oh.
Fortnite hacking and cheating community, I will be exposing the massive network of cheaters
Whoa,
that have
okay.
been robbing Fortnite and all of the honest players blind of money for the better part of a decade.
Wow, okay.
And I run the most popular Fortnite cheat selling company. I've made over $5,000 cheating on Fortnite and qualified for FNCS Grand Finals.
While some of the more casual fans I have might associate hacking with that one cracked guy who keeps cranking 90s in your lobby, it wasn't always like that. People
Who
have been
thought hacks
cheating
would-
and hacking
What?
in video games
That's
ever
hacking.
since the first game was ever invented, way before Fortnite was
Good old
even
Pong.
thought in the minds of Epic Games. Back in the day, developers would integrate cheat codes into their game. This was mainly to help out during the playtesting phase of the game development, but the developers left these cheat codes in the back end of the games after they were released. They put them there thinking that nobody would even notice.
Interesting, we're getting like a
considering
history
it was
lesson.
just useless game files, but throughout time, hackers started to notice that if they accessed these game files, they could cheat like the developers. Cheating became a widely
speedrunning is
accepted
so
part of
bad.
the gaming community. Don't get me wrong, there were still gaming purists, but most people were just cheating at home on their own game.
Yo,
and
we all
wasn't
did it, bro.
exactly
We've all been
hurting
there, chat.
anybody.
GTA, man. Everyone loved, dude. Cheating in GTA, like, it's just a different experience. Cheating in single-player games, though, you're not hurting anyone. It's only your own experience. Who cares? You know what I mean? Cheating in online games is where it gets mad cringe.
Else's experience. However, as time went on and online multiplayer games like Fortnite were invented, people started developing hacks that would impact not just themselves, but the players that they were cheating against. When people started first cheating in
bro,
online
this is
shooters,
cr-
it was very easy
CIA.gov.
to tell. You could see them
He's just
flying around the
flying.
sky with their limbs flailing all over the place, killing literally
CIA.gov.
everyone on sight. But recently,
Whoa.
as hacks
Dude, that is
have
crazy.
improved,
What?
It's become much harder to figure out if someone
Dude.
is really cheating, or they might just be really good at the game. Of course, most video games like Fortnite have now adapted and have built-in cheat detectors. However, they're in a constant battle with hackers to stay one step ahead of the curve.
Pretty much.
There are two main types of hacks in Fortnite that I want to cover today.
Okay.
One are aim and trigger bots, and
Okay.
the other is ESP. Aim bots and trigger bots are pretty self-explanatory. It basically gives you a robotic arm. You see, the computer will automatically lock onto opponents' heads.
Jeez, it looks
that
so
you don't
crazy
have
to watch,
aim
bro.
Train at all. The hacks will basically do the
Yo,
work
whoever
for
this is
you.
aim training right now is
to be
insane.
fair, it is much more nuanced, and if you are a terrible player that starts cheating, it's very obvious, whereas a good player might not be as easily detected.
Yo, why did we use Reet? Yo, why are we bringing back the Reet allegations, bro? I thought we beat that.
If their aim only gets slightly better. And then there's ESP, which is another type of hacks which are called extrasensory perception. When you have hacks
actually, that's what
like
ESP
these
stood
turned
for.
on, it will display important player information on the screen.
this is the
and let
sketchy
you
one.
see players through
So
walls.
hard to tell if
And
someone's
on
using
top of
this.
seeing them, you'll also know what HP the players are at, possibly what rank they are, what weapons they have, and anything else that
That's-
the ESP
yeah.
developer puts in. See, most of these hacks come from sellers online. These hackers basically promise you that you can play the game undetected from Epic's anti-cheat software, but
That's
in
concerning.
reality, you will probably get caught anyway. Epic Games knows that these sites exist too because they've sued cheaters before. Not just once, but multiple times. In 2017, Epic Games sued a 14-year-old who was advertising
Get him.
hacks on his YouTube channel. And he wasn't some massive YouTuber, he only had 14,000 subscribers.
Wow.
But Epic is incredibly serious. They argued in the lawsuit that these hacks were not only ruining the fun of the game, but also actively violating Epic's copyrights. On top of that, in 2022, Epic Games sued an entirely different cheater known as Blaze FN. Blaze was selling cheats alongside inactive accounts with rare skins and a bunch of other stuff that went against Epic's terms of service. Obviously, Epic Games was not happy with him either, and we don't know how much Blaze was required to pay Epic Games, but we do know that Epic Games won the lawsuit and donated all of the money they won to charity. After
That's
he was caught, however,
all-round
Blaze
W's.
never sold hacks again.
Hell yeah.
And you
Huge
should
W's.
consider these cheaters lucky, because in other game titles before, people have not gotten away with just a slap on the wrist or paying some money. In 2020, Gary Bowser, who was a member of the well-known
3 years
hacking
in
group
jail!
Team Executor, was arrested for his role in creating and distributing hardware and software that enabled piracy on.
How does that even go, bro, in prison? Yo, what are you in for? Yeah, I murdered a guy. What are you in for? Yeah, I was trafficking a kilo of cocaine. What'd you do? I cheated in Mario Party. Like, what the fuck? What?
Nintendo consoles. After his arrest, Bowser was extradited to the United
How are
States
you going
in
to
2021,
jail for this?
And after that, he pleaded guilty to multiple charges, where he was sentenced to 40 months in prison. This case, for the first time, highlighted these serious legal ramifications of hacking for making
That's
money.
insane, bro.
So
You
with
don't
all
mess
of
with
that-
Nintendo. That's what we're learning. Fortnite, you know, you get sued a bit, public apology, donated to children's charity, whatever. Like, Nintendo, you are going to jail. That is ridiculous.
Why would anybody risk cheating for a few $100s or the glory of their name on a leaderboard? And to find out the answer to this question, I asked one of Fortnite's leading cheat developers how he started cheating in the
Oh,
first
this will be
place.
interesting.
I bought a spoofer and then I started like buying cheats. Or I didn't want to buy cheats because they cost money. So I had like a YouTube channel from when I was like good at the game. And then I said to the cheat developers, like the random ones, I don't remember what the name should be, that I'll make YouTube videos if you give me a cheat key. So that's how I first got into cheating.
And I assumed if he
When
had
I was good.
continued to cheat for this long,
I think I know who this
there
is.
must be some big positive upside to it, considering all the risk.
So I don't know what it would be overall, but we're the most popular DMA cheat. And on like the best month, like a few months ago, there was FNCS, heaps of zero build tournaments. We made 30,000 USD, and every month it's above 10,000 USD from hardware, from the DMA firmware, spoofer, and the cheat. There's other DMA
That is
cheats
insane.
That make 6,000 a month, which is a livable amount of selling DMA cheats. And then people that buy the cheats, you spend like $200 on the setup, and then you earn in 2 zero build cups, and you've already made your money back.
See, that's the concern. That's what I've talked about, man. Like, Fortnite's anti-cheat is actually extremely good. It catches like 99.9% of cheaters. It really does. That's why, like, the average player has not ran into cheaters that often in pubs, ranked, whatever. It's just where Fortnite really let it down and where they continue to let it down is paying out cheaters. They need to just hire a few staff members, whatever it costs, just manually check every single player you're paying out for like 6 months. Do not pay out a single cheater, and I guarantee the amount of cheaters goes down so much. But it's because it's this. People see it as an investment. Just people who are bored and want to spend money to cheat and get banned is already such a small population. But people who are willing to try and risk it to then make the money back, that is what's scary. That is what Epic has dropped the ball on. That's why there's so many cheaters in tournaments and like none in the actual regular game.
So much money to be made, I guess it isn't really surprising that there are people willing to do anything to get it. And there aren't just a few players cheating. There are thousands.
30 grand is
Based on your
insane.
knowledge, how many people are cheating?
So if you're just playing pubs and stuff, like a cheater's not really just going to be playing normal games, not getting anything from that. But if you look at like high-level tournaments, my experience is mostly in build because I don't play zero build, it's just boring and you just die to cheaters. So
Irony. I don't play zero bills because I just died of cheaters. Motherfucker, you're the cheater. What do you mean? What do you mean? How is this better? Did they turn it up more than you? What do you mean you die to cheaters in zero builds, bro? We got cheaters not playing zero builds because there's too many cheaters. Like, oh my god, it's doomed, bro. We're gone. It's over.
Last season, I played OC Grand Finals, 7 out of 8 at the Duo
Of course he played OCE Grand Finals. Of course it's OCE.
Cup finals, like top 40 for money, and usually in every week of like the set lobby, like the finals of FNCS or the finals of the Duo Cash Cup, there's like 2 or 3 cheating teams.
That is
and that's
disgusting.
OC, and that's like usually there's usually like one known cheater that's like good and like hasn't been banned in a few months, and there's usually like 1 or 2 people that are just rage hacking and then get banned a few days later. So
yeah,
in build I would say
pretty
I
fair.
don't know what it would be on each region, but on OC it's usually like 3 out of 50. But on Middle East I saw like people do good cheating. Someone came 6th in the last FNCS Grands cheating, and in zero build, you know, if you look at the leaderboards,
It's like
people with 2
80% cheating.
So I think it'll be like 80%.
Yeah, 80%. There's no way we got the exact
Now,
amount,
I
bro.
obviously can't perfectly confirm
Maybe it's
or
me,
deny
chat.
the accusations
What if that was me the whole time?
from our anonymous source. However, I can 100% tell you that he was on the leaderboard of the FNCS Grand Final.
I can't leak who the anonymous source is, but here is where he was on a leaderboard that is very public and anyone can check. You just go to the leaderboard now and check. Come on. This is, dude, what? Dude, this is like putting on a fake mustache and like, well, I'm a new person now. Like, this is the worst.
While
No way.
he's still on that leaderboard today. And
You can go check if you want to find out. Like, come on, Divvy.
further back up these claims, we have
So
seen
anonymous.
some pro players get caught cheating before, and not just any players. For those of you who don't know who Repulse is,
Oh,
he
here we
was
go.
the winner of the 2023 Major Grand Finals in the OCE region.
But there was one team who was making waves in Major 3, and that was Jace and Repulse.
You see, Repulse actually quit the game long before that tournament.
Now, Repulse is one of the best OCE keyboard and mouse players in the first few years.
One
of
of the
Fortnite's
best
release,
in the
even
world.
placing 4th at DreamHack Anaheim 2020.
I would
in
say
the
at
Land
one point in Fortnite history, Repulse would have been the best fighter in the game. He came 4th at the only international event he went to. This kid was a freak. Like, genuinely, Repulse was terrifying. Not as smart as some of the players on EU and NA, but I think genuinely, at this point in the game, the best fighter in the world.
Very impressive for a player from such a small region, but come to the end of 2021 and he would quit and disappear from the internet entirely.
What that means is that Repulse was not the actual player on that account. In fact, he hadn't played Fortnite in almost 2 years.
Strangely, on
Crazy.
his return midway through 2023, he would be playing Controller.
That keyboard to controller switch was just the first in many pieces of evidence that would come out, which proved that Repulse's account was being played on by a hacker. However, this cheater was about to make a huge mistake. He actually won the Major 3 Grand Finals on Repulse's account. And you're probably asking to me, why is that a mistake? Isn't the point of cheating to win and get the money? And to that, I would answer yes. However, there's another factor at play here. The winner of the Major 3 FNCS in OCE would also be qualified for the
Globals.
2023 Global Championship LAN event. And for those of you who haven't caught on yet, that was the huge mistake. Because you see, this is a LAN event, and since Repulse wasn't
You
a
have to
player on
attend.
the actual account, he would still have to go to LAN because Epic Games knew what Repulse looked like IRL. And that meant whoever was playing on Repulse's account couldn't go, and Repulse himself would have to go instead. And
Insane,
this
bro.
is where things got even worse, because according to multiple anonymous pro players that I spoke to, Repulse was telling other players at the LAN event the truth, and basically saying he didn't really qualify.
Everyone in OC knew. Everyone was reporting this during the time. Like, during the FNCS, everyone knew and was reporting it, and still nothing happened. This wasn't like a secret at all. It was the worst kept secret of all time.
That someone was playing on his account. And after this, it didn't take long for word to get back to Epic Games and Blast about what was going on. Later in this video, we'll be talking about another
strange.
player from the 2023 Global Championships and their involvement with the cheating problem. And I promise it's someone who will shock every single one of you. So armed with this knowledge that
Okay.
pro players were cheating, I was curious to ask the cheat developer more about how often these cheaters are getting caught. After all, if someone could make it all the way to global championships by cheating, who knows how many people on our leaderboards are cheating right now?
So the anti-cheat is like Valorant, Fortnite have good anti-cheats for detecting software running on your computer. But when it's not on your computer and the only suspicious thing on your device is literally like something appearing as a real device, they're not gonna like ban you for having a real tech internet device.
Well, I guess that's sort of a bright side. Fortnite does have a great anti-cheat. They can ban a very high percentage of players that are cheating.
Yeah.
But if you get caught, is it easy to start cheating again?
So
Yes,
when you
sadly.
get banned in Fortnite, they ban your hardware, which is like usually your motherboard, your SSD, and your like IP. So to spoof, you only really need to change your. If you don't want to buy a spoof, you can just buy a new SSD and motherboard. But the spoof is like $20, the one I sell. So it just changes your
One I sell.
motherboard serial numbers, and then you reset your computer, and then you're unbanned.
So not
It's
only
an ad,
are
it's an
people
ad.
cheating, but they're doing it again and again and again. And it creates this horrible cycle because these serial cheaters have no chance of ever being unbanned. So what do they have to lose by trying to cheat again?
Interesting.
I know the only big example I have given of cheating so far was the repulse situation, and I'm sure many of you already knew about that. And on top of that, the repulse situation was over a year ago now. So why should you even care? Well, the truth is that is just one example that's been made.
That was
very
the
public,
biggest, like,
but
craziest
luckily,
example.
Our anonymous source was able to shed some light on just how current this problem really is. I didn't know you played grand finals last season.
I came top 22. I'm not going to say exactly what I came, but yeah.
Homie, he literally showed where you were on the leaderboard. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know if whoever this is, just like didn't tee up with Timmy, or like once he did the interview, Timmy was like, yo, screw this guy, I'm definitely exposing him. Anyone who wants to know who you are right now can find out in 3 seconds.
Obviously, grand finals.
Wow, that's insane. Yep, like I said before in the video, he really did qualify for the OCE Grand Finals. To keep his privacy, I promised I wouldn't tell you what his name on the leaderboard was, but I can confirm that it's true. And
You
if
should!
that's the
It's
case,
fine,
it's
fine.
possible that this cheating problem runs deeper than we ever thought. Just last season, this one hacker has claimed $1,000 in Fortnite earnings, and there are people that have allegedly made way more than him. Epic Games and all of the legitimate Fortnite players are basically being robbed blind by these cheaters. Now, both of those examples I gave you came
All right, how many of these people are getting robbed right now? Who would have earned on this list here if it wasn't for cheaters? Let me check the list again.
And all of the
Who we got?
legitimate
Okay. Yes. Moving on. Yo, Nick, if we had e-servers, PK if he locked in. TG does actually do really well in zero build tournaments as well. TG does his hacker watch. I'll give him that. And Lachlan, I mean, he's on an org. They could carry him, maybe. Lucky's been carried before. He's got this.
are basically being robbed blind.
I love
by these
Lucky, bro.
cheaters. Now, both of those examples I gave you came from the OCE region.
Of course they
And
did.
Many say that this is the region where there's most cheating.
Definitely.
And that the problem only exists there. Unfortunately, however,
definitely
this
not.
is far from the truth. Because another grand finalist from Major 3 was recently banned by Epic Games. However, the cheater in question, Herc, made grand finals on the North American region, the region that right next to EU is supposed to be the best in the world. And after being banned, Herc even publicly admitted that he was cheating. And on top of that, he started a Discord where he's now selling his cheats to other players. And while we're talking about Herc, I want to talk about the next big problem with cheating.
Playing
Remember
with
earlier
cheaters.
In the video when I told
gonna be
you
playing
we
with
would talk
cheaters,
about
isn't it?
another player from the Global Championships? Well, now it's time we talk about how one of the biggest Fortnite pros in the world, Cooper, is involved in this situation. Before I go any further, I want to make it 1000% clear that I am not claiming that Cooper is cheating. In fact, I am 100% positive that he is not.
He won the LAN. He's
So
pretty
that
safe.
begs
Yeah.
the question, Timmy, why did you even bring Cooper up? Well, I want to point out that there is a large number of pro players who also don't cheat themselves, but are teaming up with cheaters to play tournaments.
Yeah.
And the player that was caught cheating in
a rough
grand
one.
finals on NA, named Herc, actually recently played a tournament with Cooper. In a series of tweets,
Worth mentioning, Cooper played with him before he got banned. I think that needs to be specified pretty heavily. He didn't play with him after he got banned. It was before he got banned, but some people still don't care.
about the situation, Cooper claims that he had no clue Herc was cheating. And to be honest with you, I have no clue whether or not Cooper knew. I am inclined to give Cooper the benefit of the doubt in this situation, being that he's a high enough tier player that on his own region, he could play with pretty much any teammate and wouldn't need to resort to playing with cheaters. And I also am not only going to call out Cooper. One of the best Fortnite players of all time, Queasy, also queued up for a tournament with Herc. And once
they
again,
won it,
I'll
yeah.
make it very clear
On
I'm
NA.
not accusing
Well, no, sorry, they
anybody
almost won
of
on
doing
NA.
this on purpose. There isn't really any way to know other than by asking Queasy or Herc if Queasy knew the truth about the situation. However, a piece of evidence that goes against Queasy is that he did make this tweet before playing with Herc. Need 3 underrated aimers for NAC.
This was after playing with Herc, I believe. In the timeline of things, I think Timmy's got this incorrect. This was after playing with Herc, right? This is pretty much like a couple days after all this was happening and all the pros were playing with known cheaters and everyone was freaking out. Afterwards, there was a bunch of pros, Queasy, Malibuka, and a bunch of people started making tweets like this as memes, like needing really, really good aimers with not a lot of events played. Like it was, yeah, he's got the timeline wrong here. This was after playing with Herc.
Although
This
at
was like a
first
meme and
glance,
like 15 pros did it.
this might seem like an innocent tweet. The term aimer has been used by the cheating community for a long time as a way to signify that they are cheating without actually saying it. That way, if anybody from Epic ever saw these tweets, they would know what they were saying. And it would also minimize their risk of getting banned or receiving any
It was
sort
more
of
pros than
backlash
this,
from
though.
their
No offense to
fans.
these guys.
And once again, I believe in being fair, and I won't just call out one person for this either, because Queasy is not alone. Here are tweets from
Yeah, here we go.
FNCS winners,
Here we go.
Malibuka, and
And
Swizzy.
now Swizzy need 3 cheaters. Yo, it's a language difference, okay? Swizzy's English not his first language. He didn't realize what we were saying. He got a little bit confused, okay? Swizzy didn't. Swizzy just lost all subtlety. Yo, I need 3 rage hackers. You gotta have the craziest cheats out there. I need like straight up 100% accuracy. I'll take nothing less. Like just straight up went for
He
it.
says that he needs Kovacs goats. And for those of you that don't know what Kovacs is, it's a very
Swizzy.
popular aim trainer. So once again, he's using this same aimer language that Queasy did.
Dude, this guy's
to try
crazy,
and hide
whoever
the
this
fact
is.
That he wants to play with cheaters. Now, Swizzy was a little bit more direct by just saying, need 3 cheaters for
A little bit
NAC
more
reload.
direct.
And I couldn't find any proof of him playing with them on a leaderboard, but he may have queued with people who were later banned, so I don't really know whether this was a joke or not. But the fact that I don't know whether or not he's joking
Come on,
is
Timmy.
the problem. The fact that the cheating situation has gotten so terrible to the fact where I think FNCS winners are willing to queue up with cheaters just shows you how bad it's truly gotten. And
I can
if
agree
all
with
of
that.
this
It's gotten
wasn't
pretty bad.
enough, and you're still saying to yourself, who really cares, Timmy? These pro players are already making money anyway, so who cares who they team up with? Well, that is where the problem lies. See, consistently, we've seen pro players complain over and over again on Twitter.
This was after the cash
about
cow where Booga
hackers.
died to the cheaters,
And
yeah.
if any of you guys follow me over on Twitch and watch my streams, you know that I complain about it every time I get one of these guys in my game. However, there's this mindset that players have developed recently that basically says, if I can't beat the hackers, I might as well join them, because at the end
They've
of
got
the
to
day,
step up the
it's
punishment.
Epic Games' responsibility to limit cheaters, not ours. But I don't think that's 100% true. Yes, of course, it is the job of Epic Games and the easy anti-cheat to limit the cheaters in our lobbies. But by pro players consistently queuing up with
Yeah.
cheaters, it legitimizes them and makes it less likely that they'll get caught.
Agreed.
So these pro players are just hurting their own cause and adding to this epidemic of cheaters in our lobbies.
Whew.
And this isn't the only way that players are using hackers to cheat without actually...
I don't know if you'll go into it, but I kind of want to jump in here. I feel like we just need to punish, like you need to get like a 1 week or 2 week ban if you're playing with a known cheater. That might seem a little bit harsh. It seems to have quieted down now, but a few weeks ago when it was like the strat, it was pretty bad because we have very legitimate cases where people have played with someone and had no clue they're cheating. and then it's kind of unfair to ban them or punish them because they didn't know, right? Jerian, we had like, you know, Sizzlucky and Nanolight when they were playing with Kez. Like, we've had situations where I am positive, my life on the line, they did not know they were playing with a cheater. But there's definitely times where pros will play with someone who they know is super sus. They're pretty sure they're cheating, but as long as they don't ask, don't tell, then if they end up getting caught, well, worst comes to worst, you don't get the money from that tournament and you're not punished. I feel like you need to get like a 1 or 2 week ban. And people might say that's too harsh, but like, it would limit playing with people like that. If you're like, you know, one of the best players in the region, you're not going to play with someone you've never really heard of who's all of a sudden doing really, really good with really good aim because they might be cheating. That's probably a good thing. You probably should have to question it a little bit more. And I feel like most pros would agree with that. I get the sentiment of pros getting frustrated, like if I can't beat them, join them, because it has gotten really bad. But I feel like if you just up the punishment a little bit, not just taking away their earnings from that tournament, but actually like, you know, taking it away properly, like giving them a proper punishment, I think there'd be way less of this being an issue.
Buying the cheats themselves. In the very popular solo Victory Cup tournaments, people are now paying hackers to eliminate all the other players in the lobby for them so they can get a free win.
What?
Actually, not that many pro players, but a lot of mid-tier players. So there's this strategy. So you're in a solo
Yo,
victory,
come on!
You pay someone that's rage cheating, like $30 for example, because you get 100 if you win, to like clear out the lobby, kill everyone for you, and then they just kill themselves and you win the game. But you just in a box the whole game, so you're not like technically teaming, because you're not just gonna like peek
Bruh.
if you know they're cheating, and then they'll just like die in the last top 2.
There's no way you're doing all this. So you're paying a cheater $30 of the $76 tax that you get to then make that money. So you're walking away with like $40. Just get a fucking job. Are you kidding me? That can't be fun. I understand devoting 5 hours to play a video game for $100 because it's fun. It's an achievement. You feel rewarded. But at this point, this can't be fun. Just get a job. It has to be more profitable than this. Like, this isn't enjoyable. You're not enjoying this. I hope not. I guess you then use those earnings to get better teammates in comps who see it as like progressing your like career. But like, come on, man.
And then you'll win.
What are we
$100
doing?
and pay them 30. So a lot of people like are
What?
doing this, like playing with cheaters, I guess, especially in solos. And
Playing with cheaters in solos is a hilarious statement.
You rush from a solo cup, and then you get actual earnings on your Fortnite account. And if the
Yeah.
cheater gets banned, it doesn't affect you at all because they just die.
So obviously,
Bro,
hacking
I
is
did not know that was a
big
thing.
issue that doesn't get talked about nearly enough in the
That is
Fortnite
one thing I
community.
haven't heard
I
of.
mentioned before that a majority of hacks now are hardware-based, and the hacker even showed us a little video explaining how they look in the PC.
Oh
So the
no.
first device we have here is the
Oh, here we
DMA
go.
card. This is what reads the memory of Fortnite, and it is plugged into your PCIe slot, but I just have a riser.
Are we giving a cheat tutorial? I don't know if I'm totally game to show how to cheat. I mean, obviously, no one is... I guess anyone who could actually make one of these or use one of these already knows this or is told this. So I guess I don't feel too bad.
Because it doesn't fit properly. And then the cord goes to your second computer, which is, I just have a laptop for
Like, you have to buy this off
And
someone
then
anyway. They're just going to
this
tell you
will-
how to do
will
this.
The cheat shows on, and usually it would show on your computer's monitor, but with a device called a fuser, it overlays whatever's
Yo!
onto your main monitor.
Dude!
And then this is Arduino, which is like the virtual mouse.
Surely, I mean, I know it's money. A job's a job. But, like, surely if you're this technologically advanced, if you're this clever with tech and hardware and software and integrations, there has to be a way you can get a normal job that pays more, that is more rewarding than this. I don't know. There's just no way. Surely with this background, you could make more income doing something else. Like, seriously, this takes, like, so much effort.
This is how the aimbot works. It plugs into both computers.
Dude.
And it is how it clicks, and it does all the aimbot. And that's the devices.
As you can see, they look
It's
like
super
normal computer
advanced.
parts.
What?
Of course, if you're at LAN, these
Oh my
hacks would be
God.
detected immediately. However, for any online
You think someone's gonna bring their second laptop with 800 cables fucking running out of it? Some weird spoofer device? Yeah, Timmy, I think it wouldn't work on land. Maybe DreamHack, who
get away
knows?
with it because anti-cheat only detects software hacks, not these DMA cheats.
Dude, what?
So with all of this being said, Epic Games clearly needs to come up with some new creative ways to detect hackers, especially if they want the online tournaments to remain serious and not lose a bunch of their player base. I'm gonna explain a couple of ways that Fortnite...
Did we just
technically-
scroll through the leaderboard that we hid the cheater on? No, we didn't. Okay, I thought it was the same leaderboard from earlier. Just scrolled through without the blur. I was like, yo, Timmy does not care.
That Fortnite technically technically could limit the hackers.
Oh, here we go.
One of the most simplistic ways they could do this is by measuring response time.
Yes.
For those of you that don't know what response time is, it's
This would be
basically
big.
the amount of time that it takes for your brain to realize that there's somebody in front of you to the moment when your finger clicks the mouse and shoots the player.
This would pick up trigger
Average
bots.
Human response time is about 250 milliseconds. And for high-level pro players, this average is probably closer to 150 milliseconds. And the fastest ever recorded response time is 101 milliseconds. Now, if you're playing with a trigger bot hack, you don't actually have to see what's in front of you or click your mouse button. Because of this, these hacks have an average response time of 10
Disgusting
milliseconds,
shot.
which is literally 1,000 times faster than the fastest ever human response time.
I mean, that could be a
So,
pre-fire though. That could be a
make up
super
these
lucky
for a
pre-fire is the hard
simple
part.
Algorithm that would determine a player's average response time. This could be used to determine who's hacking and who's just naturally gifted with response time. Because no matter how naturally gifted you are, you're not going to beat the human world record by 1,000 times.
True.
And the hacker we interviewed agrees that this is a good choice.
AI anti-cheat, or like detecting that you've shot 10 people in 10 milliseconds, you should just be banned. And like, that shouldn't exist. Like, instantly, if you are shooting people faster than human reaction time, that's such an easy thing to track. I think there's things like there's like those overwolf and things to like show you your gameplay stats. Like, they can even like detect how fast you're shooting. The Fortnite anti-cheat should be able to detect that you're shooting too fast and ban people that are trigger body, for example.
Of course, this wouldn't catch every
Interesting that like a cheat developer is so passionate on how to like fix cheating and like suggesting ways to improve it and get rid of it. It's such a weird thing to me. Again, it seems like this guy is like just has a passion for developing cheats and like trying to like beat the billion-dollar company and like just likes the tech side of things. Because it seems like, I don't know, seems like he's not like he'd be totally fine where if cheating was gone. It's so strange to me.
Because not everybody uses a trigger bot. There are still people that are using their DMAs to use ESP cheats where they see through walls and other stuff like that.
Back on that one though, I will say I actually do know why Epic doesn't do that. So the reason why Epic doesn't ban people who have like a really fast reaction time or like shoot too many targets too quickly is because that would actually get rid of so many cheaters, like 90+%, but there would be a decently high amount of false positives, false negatives, banning people who weren't actually cheating, but it looked like they were, like hitting random like lucky shots and stuff. Like, you'll never get it dialed in 100%. There'll always be people caught in the crossfire. And Epic as a company have a stance where they pretty much do not want any false negatives. They want as few as possible. So they would rather not ban, let's say, 1,000 actual cheaters if it accidentally banned a few people who weren't cheating, like 3 or 4. You know what I mean? Where a lot of games like Valorant and Riot ran games, they actually sway more on being okay with that, from what I've heard. They would be okay banning 1,000 cheaters and also like wrongfully banning a few people because it's for the betterment of the game. And then hopefully those people apply and then get unbanned is obviously the logic and the thought process. Epic, unfortunately, are really not on the other end of the spectrum. They don't want to ban a bunch of people if it only then accidentally bans a few people. That's not worth it for them.
However, this would be a great start. Of course, this wouldn't catch every hacker, but it would be a great way to start actually banning people using some of the more aggressive trigger bot hacks. And that being said, if Epic doesn't even want to do something that drastic, they could also just add better monitoring to FNCS lobbies. Just hire real human beings.
Thank you, Timmy.
To watch perspectives.
It's so worth it.
In replays. I genuinely think if they just added a few people to comb through these games and to respond to people that are being reported heavily, they would limit a lot of the major cheating that's going on in tournaments.
And there is no downside in that.
And why is this so important? Because things like this completely delegitimize the esports community as a whole.
Why do we get that clip of Venom looking at us like that, bro? I love that clip, but why?
And I know for a fact that's the last thing that Epic Games wants. Because to be 100% honest, if Fortnite and Epic don't find a way to get this under control, I'm not sure how long the pro Fortnite scene will be able to survive.
Agreed. Like, even if you hire an intern, bro, you hire an intern and you pay them like, you know, intern level, like payment to do this, and it will curb so much of it and make Epic money. Like, genuinely, I swear Epic is losing money by not hiring people to do this. Not just by paying out cheaters, but the amount of people who quit playing Fortnite because of cheaters, I guarantee the income generated by those players would make more than it costs to pay someone to manually ban to bring down the amount of cheaters. And there would be people who would do this job to get into a big tech company like this for intern level pay. Or just pay someone a full wage as well. It's $1 billion company. I'm just saying, if like the reason we're not doing it is money, like it genuinely would make more money than it costs. I swear. Like I genuinely swear.